And hello visuals, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another edition of the Visual Guys Entertainment. Well, it's not so much going to be entertainment news today. There's one or two things I might be able to chuck out, but today, more specifically, I'm just going to quickly talk about the Minecraft movie and Death of a Unicorn. And if you've already guessed and you can already tell, it is just me, myself, and I today. And well, Optimus is kicking about somewhere, but I don't know where he's at. Chris is what's the fucking fancy word for? He's got bigger fish to fry this weekend. He's got stuff on, and it's something he'll maybe explain to you in the future. What I've just done that thing where there's some information, but it's information, but I can't tell you. But you're like, well, why did you say that? Then he's got stuff on. It's stuff if he wants to talk about later on in future episodes, he's more than welcome to. But I ain't going to say shit because it's not my shit to talk about. But he's got stuff he needs to take care of. Don't worry, nothing's bad. No one's dying or anything like that. None of that sort of shit. Just sort of like live stuff. And like I said, he'll get to you as soon as he can. He hasn't been on for a little while, has he, actually, for the podcasts. He's been a busy boy with stuff, okay? We'll give him a break. Shit's happened. But hopefully he's back next week, because next week we do have a viewing of Sinners. And so far, all the early stuff for Sinners has been very positive and looks good. Looks great and sounds awesome and whatnot. I'm very much excited regardless anyway, Michael B. Jordan. As well, the early test stuff for Thunderbolts, everybody's praising that so far. I know it's only test screenings, I know it's early days, but a lot of people are shouting out already saying, could be top 5, definitely top 10 MCU and all this kind of shit. I think it looks phenomenal. I did not expect it to look as great as it does. I saw all the behind the scenes stuff of Florence Pugh jumping off that building, and I think were they in China? I think they were somewhere with like one of the world's tallest buildings or whatever, which looked fucked up. I think they said, did they? I can't remember, but it looked great anyway. So that's 2 films on the horizon look great. I've heard mixed stuff for the Superman. But again, we'll get to see that soon enough. What's that, June or July? I think it's June or July. Because we got that one the month with 3, haven't we? With Fantastic Four, Superman, and Jurassic Park. So that's going to be an exciting month for movies. Peacemaker, we know that's got an official release date now. If this is the news, I'm supposed to tell you the release date. I can't friggin' remember. I haven't got a friggin' clue. We know that one more episode left of Daredevil, which it's been outstanding. Hopefully next week Chris is up to date and we can speak heavy about Daredevil and all the ongoings and stuff like that. Yeah, so technically not much news today. There probably is more stuff, but Chris is the news bringer. I just tell you the bits that I can. I saw a trailer for this. But let's talk about Death of a Unicorn and Minecraft. Me and Chris did a back-to-back viewing last week, and it was great, timed perfectly. As soon as we left Death of a Unicorn, that was 13 minutes past 7, and then Minecraft started at 7:15. No, we got outside. Sorry, we got out at 9:15. That's what I just said. 9:13. Minecraft started at 9:15, so we just missed one or two little shitty ads before the main trailers. So we'll do Death of a Unicorn first. Spoilers, of course. Well, I'll try and keep it down as much as possible because it's just me and stuff. But I will say, what the fuck's reflected on my little phone? Why do I do that? My phony phone. Death of a Unicorn. Paul Rudd, Jenna Ortega. Oh my god, visuals! What an absolutely friggin' fun ride! I didn't realize as well this was A24. It makes sense now because it's a definite A24 kind of vibe. But basic quick premise is Paul Rudd works for this, I think it was a pharmaceutical or a medical company. He basically wants to get his way onto the board, so he gets some, big pay rise and a big payday and whatnot because his missus, Jenna Ortega's mum, has passed away a few years back and he's looking after her. And the relationship between the two of them is a bit estranged. It's one of them sort of angsty kind of teen. She's a little bit emo, like, Dad, this because of, whatever issues. And he's trying to do the best to provide, but he's spending too much time trying to get the money in instead of being there, like giving his time and emotion and support and all this kind of stuff. So there's a bit of friction between the two of them, but they're going up to their Paul Rudd's boss's house to sign some documents, to push through some ideas, to get him on the board, to get this pay rise, because the actual like the head of the company is sick and dying. And on the way, they run into a creature and they think they kill this creature. And then they're oh my god, is it a horse? What is it? Turns out it's a unicorn. There's a cave in this, where this house is, it's isolated in like a little mountainy kind of foresty bit. Can't remember the name of the family, but it's like a big reserve, and there's loads of greenery around there. It's literally just them and a few roads. But there's a cave and you can see some creature come out of it. Well, you don't physically see it, you sort of see it from its point of view and hear some noises and murmurings. And it turns out they killed one of the baby unicorns. They killed a baba unicorn, but like I said, they didn't really kill it. There's some shenanigans going on. Get to the house. They try and make everything seem normal, try and get the deal done, pretend and present themselves as this loving, because the people that own the house, the family, the owners of this company, want to see him and his daughter and this backstory of losing his wife, her mum, and seeing how they are and all this kind of stuff. So I want to see what they're like together as a family and all that kind of shit. But then obviously they find out that boom, there's a unicorn. There's noise coming in from his car, and it turns out, oh, there's a unicorn in it, but the unicorn wakes up and it's kicking through the car and whatnot. Then they have to kill it again and shit like that. But it's quite funny. Jenna Ortega gets a little bit of its blood on her, and she's got like bad acne, and she puts it on her face and it cures it. And then they start putting two and two together, saying, oh my god, it's got a cure for this, cure for that. Then obviously once they find this out, rich guy brings in a scientific team. They start experimenting on the horn, the dust. They can cure, because I think it's just cancer he's got, that you can cure that. And you know, we can sell it and start making all these business calls. I can't remember the boyo's lad that plays Adam Warlock, the British actor. He's so fucking funny. He used to be dead ugly as a kid. Now he's a handsome fucking man. What the fuck? But he's hilarious in this film. It's relatively gory as well. The butler who played Zaz. Yeah, just Zaz from the Gotham series, the Batman villain. He's in this and he's fucking hilarious. Like I said, you get a lot of really cool deaths. And then once obviously the mum and dad unicorns find out the baby's been took by these people, all they want to do is get it back. And this film does a phenomenal job at showing unicorns in a different light. When you think unicorn, you think little kid just doing a little doodle, rainbow, and oh look baby, it's a unicorn, put it on the fridge, all that kind of shit. My Little Pony sort of vibes. I don't know if My Little Ponies are unicorns. Is there a unicorn in My Little Pony, or are they just regular horses? Well, they're definitely not regular, because they're all like mental colours with fucking love heart tattoos and shit. But yeah, so it all kicks off, and then they do it like it's a moment where I think it's the dad unicorn, who's a lot bigger and beefier and scary. His horn's slightly different. It's looking through like some sort of distorted glass, and you're like, oh my god, they've done a phenomenal job at making unicorns look scary here. But there's like a connection, because there's this whole. Jenna Ortega does some research to present to them, saying we shouldn't really be doing this. That they want their kid back, and this is gonna for years. Unicorns. I don't know if it's the same unicorns, but unicorns have been. That she finds this laboratory, and there's like this thing where unicorns have been caught and then used constantly for like their magic curing probabilities and all that kind of stuff. And they've always been fucked over by humans. And when that does happen, the other unicorn tends to go nuts and just sort of kill everybody and all that kind of shit. And she's like, this is bad. We just need to give the baby back. But she has a connection, because it's something to do with like being a fair maiden or whatever. The unicorns like her or trust her or have a connection with her. Like, there's a moment where she's sat face to face. In fact, I'll even put one of the posters in the thumbnail. Just after that scene where it's snarling at her, she's laying like sat down, and it just sort of lays on her lap, and it's quite adorable and stuff. You're like, oh, this is cute. But yeah. So the overall story is the unicorn mum and dad want their kid back, but also they want to get to Jenna Ortega because they have that connection. Even towards the point at the end there where they get arrested because there's all these murders, and the police are like, all right, okay. And because the unicorns are black throughout the film, but then they turn I don't know if it's just. If it just comes out, no, yeah, it does. So they do this magic thing, and they come out as like their hair and tufts and whatnot are all like white and stuff now. They all look like Shadowfax from Lord of the Rings, and yeah, they go around and then charge his police car with Paul Rudd and Jenna Ortega in the back, and it like sort of helps them out, because I think they were potentially going to get done for all the murders, or at least it was looking that way and stuff, because you can't really turn around and say it was a load of unicorns, and they're like, oh yeah, what the fuck are you on about? But it's it's an extremely funny film as well. There's some funny moments, like I said. Zaz, the butler, he has some incredibly just fucking hilarious moments. Jenna Ortega's great. Paul Rudd's so funny. Lado playing Adam Warlock, just sniffing unicorn dust from the shavings off like the horn and shit like that. I think it's implying as well that there's some sort of cosmic power or cosmic energy. There's a moment where Paul Rudd dies, but they're able to put their horns together, and they make like some sort of cosmic energy ball and bring him back, and he gets to see what Jenna Ortega saw. And when she first touched the unicorn, she did like a space sort of acidy trip looking thing. But it was quite cool to see the little like, obviously I think it's make believe, I don't think there's an actual law, like, somebody's actually written this about one day this could, this could have happened. I think they've made it up for the film, but it's quite nice to see the little made up backstory of unicorns in the past, and with this tapestry and this stuff that Jenna Ortega pieces together. But it was a really fucking fun film. It was beautifully done. It was beautifully written. It was a unique story. I mean, I know we've had like Black Sheep and that in the past, but it was different vibe to this. It wasn't as just like a dumb, silly sort of slapstick haha comedy. There was some great writing in here, some well-written jokes, some beautiful timing, some great acting. Visually looked outstanding. Relatively unique story. So I'm sorry, Mr. Positive, Mr. Constantly gives everything thumbs up and loves everything. 10 out of 10. I can't help it. When I first saw this advertised, I thought, I think this looks bang on. It'll be decent enough, but I don't think I'm going to love it. But I left the cinema absolutely over the moon. So Death of a Unicorn, 10 out of 10. Great film. I had such a fun time with it. I recommend anybody goes and checks it out. I'm not sure how long it'll be left in cinemas, but definitely recommend you check it out. Another film we did afterwards, though, one that I definitely won't be giving 10 out of 10. Not because it's a bad film, it's just because I didn't really feel much coming from it, but I did feel one or two. You'll see when I explain it. But it is, of course, Minecraft. Now, quick shout out. I've seen all the complications, the combinations of cinemas, not just in the UK, but around the world being so noisy. There is a lot of people going absolutely noisy and nuts and crazy in this film, because obviously it means so much to a generation growing up. It was their game, my games growing up were, fucking Pokemon and GoldenEye on the N64 and all that kind of shit. This was a generation's main game. I think it's still a huge game now, Minecraft. I know very, very, very little about it. But yeah, you see police. There was police attended our cinema. There was police. You can see in America taking people out and whatnot. Some of it is definitely disrespectful. But like for my screening example, the people in there was a group of about 30 kids. Well, I say kids. I think they were about 15, 16. Probably the prime age to grow up with Minecraft, and they were cheering and clapping and going nuts at Easter eggs and like full on rounds of applause and shit. Especially when like the zombie thing fell on the duck or the chicken, whatever the fuck it was. And there was a guy next to me being like, "Oh, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up." But I was enjoying that they were doing that, because I haven't heard a cinema as loud as that since like Avengers Endgame. And I was thinking, right, this is a film I don't need to sit and listen to every detail. We know the premise. It's going to be a bunch of people get sucked into the world of Minecraft, do some Minecraft shit, and then crack on with the day. We're not unveiling an elaborate story, an elaborate plot or anything here. It's just going to be dumb, silly fun, which it was. So I have absolutely no, personally, I know other people might say different because it's your cinema experience. If you want it to be quiet, obviously you want it to be quiet, but you should maybe go in, what you signed up for, that the screen is going to be full of a lot of younger sort of people who grew up with Minecraft. But I had absolutely no issue. I had no problem with them just going nuts and cheering and celebrating. Like, yeah, fucking, it's like they cheered when they mentioned a bucket of water you chuck on to land on it to break your fall and shit like that. I thought this film is the people that needs to serve, it is serving them well. They are having the time of their life. And for me, that's what cinema's all about, and storytelling. And especially when you get to watch a film like I watched Detective Pikachu, and I got proper emotional and cheery over that because of certain references and certain moments and seeing certain things and whatnot. They're like, oh, this is just fucking beautiful. Even seeing Rainbow Road and Mario Kart, that frigging crippled us. And Chris does it for The Last of Us. It's a fandom that they love and that they've particularly grown up with. So I didn't mind that. But anyway, the Minecraft film itself, I'll come out straight away and just say I was very surprised at this. I remember when Chris brought it up and I was like, how the fuck are they going to make a Minecraft film? Is it all going to be animated? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that? And what's going on? And they cast Jason Momoa and Jack Black. I'm thinking, how are we doing this? But it worked really well. I think the biggest thing for this film, right, is obviously some of it's on a stage and some of it's green screened and stuff and CGI'd. It was quite hard to tell when there was CGIing background on that end. They made the real life people of Jason Momoa and that blend in so well. They did a phenomenal job at that. The overall story itself, like I said, there is not much to go on. Jack Black I think he's an actual character from the game. I think somebody's told me. Steve, he goes at the world of Minecraft, does some Minecraft shit. They have a cube, like a Tesseract looking thing, which opens up a doorway, but then the pig people want to come and grab it. I'm going to do that. I sound like such an old man. You listen to next week's Tuesday's podcast, you'll know what I mean by old man. But it lets some pig people in, then Jack Black gives it to his dog. His dog chills, but then some other people find it. They get chucked into Minecraft. Weird Minecraft shit happens, and then that's literally all there is. There is nothing else to be elaborate about. That's that's all it fucking is. And like I said, that's all it needed to be. It just needed to be there to serve the Minecraft fans and giving them moments to cheer and be happy and buzzing. They mentioned this, they mentioned creepers and all that kind of shit. And yeah, you have a wacky adventure in the world of Minecraft going on a cart where you hit these red things, these red tiles, which make you go quicker. You get the, I think is it creepers? I say it right. The ones with 4 legs that blow up. You have the enderman, the ways that's where you get the ender stone from, where or whatever it's called. You could chuck it and teleport. You have lava and chicken and say la 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 lava chicken, or whichever way Jack Black says it. Jack Black is just Jack Black in this as well, by the way. Everything that he's in, Jack Black, I love him. He is awesome. He seems like one of the most genuine and humble and just great people you could ever meet. And he doesn't seem like a normal celebrity. He just seems awesome. But I will say as well, he doesn't necessarily draw me to films because it's always the same shtick and it's always the same, just dude, it's it. It's always the same thing. But what he does phenomenal. If you're in the movie, some Jack Black and that shenanigans, you know you're gonna have an amazing time with him doing it. But yeah, Jack Black is just Jack Black. Jason Momoa for me was maybe my highlight. He was a lot funnier in this than I thought he was going to be because it's not often you see him in a comedic role. Yes, as Aquaman, he had 1 or 2 little moments and shit, but it's not all the time, is it? You see Jason Momoa sort of being a comedian. The girlie from Peacemaker in this, she was absolutely bang on. Everything she's been in, she's been fucking awesome. I really enjoy her. The 2 young kids, well, I don't know how young they are in real life, but they were playing a brother and sister. The young girlie, actually, she looked like she was too young to like drive and shit, but she was driving and renting a house and stuff. But I was like, is she not like 15? But I don't think she was. And the young lad who has a connection to, building and whatnot. But yeah, like I said, you have a weird, fun time. I think it's the Overworld, it was called. I can't, like I said, I can't sit here and break down loads of bits because I don't understand a load of the references and what's going on here, what's going on there and stuff. I know very small bits from watching Jacksepticeye and stuff run around and build some shit. Because is there a version called Minecraft Story Mode? Is that right? Somebody can correct me in the comments below. But visually, it looked great. I had a fun time. I giggled away, and I enjoyed learning about this game I know fucking next to nothing about, even though it's one of the biggest games maybe of all time at this point. But I still had fun with it. It was a nice, easy story. There's nothing, like I said, there's nothing elaborate to break down. There's no like crazy plot twists or this or a fucking massive in-depth. The meaning of this could be, it's just some people running around the world of Minecraft building shit, and away we go. I will say as well, it looked cool when they were building shit. They looked like they were just pointing, but I think you have to like get a little bit of your materials and chuck it. They were pointing. That's how it did it. The best thing about Minecraft that I know is South Park. You got to punch a tree to get the wood. You get the wood to build a cabin. And how do you tame a horse in Minecraft? Because they make that the lock so the parents don't watch investigative murder porn. That's my knowledge. But I had a fun time with it. It was great. It's one of the films that's not too spoiled because you know how it's going to end. You know the normal formulaic layout of this kind of film. It was bang on. It was fun. I had a decent time. It looked great. The actor was cool. The story was absolutely just fine to get behind. The people in the town. I will say the villagers in Minecraft are weird. They're just yeah, make them noise, yeah, and that's it. And then Stifler's mum goes on a date for one, and then Matt Berry in a cutscene turns out to be the one that Stifler's mum's been on a date with. I do know as well, I'm assuming she's a big streamer or a big YouTuber of Minecraft. Jack Black knocks on a house and a girl answers the door and the cinema went nuts for her. And I know that there's a pig. I think somebody said, my nephew explained to me that a big Minecraft YouTuber died not too long ago. And I don't know if this pig with a crown was a reference to him because Jack Black calls him a legend and shit. I thought that's an amazing moment if that's somebody that's literally done a Minecraft on YouTube or whatever, and he's become a legend of it, and it's been honoured forever inside of a film. I thought that was a great bit for him and whatnot. But yeah, it was fun visuals. I'm not going to go out nuts with it, say 10 out of 10 perfection, because for me it wasn't perfect, because I still, even though I enjoyed it, I still don't really care about Minecraft. Jack Black, I can't go overboard with because it was just Jack Black. Even though he's amazing what he does, it was like a normal formula. Like whereas Death as a Unicorn was something unique and new and shit, whereas this was just fine. But I'm still going to give it a nice hefty 7. Like I said, I don't really have many disappointments with it. I'm just, because I'm not as invested or interested. Like I wouldn't be surprised if I don't watch Minecraft film ever again, or if I maybe do it one more time in the future at some point. it's there. I've done it. It's sweet, ticked off. But I don't feel any like massive. Let's get into Minecraft. You know, I don't any of that. But the film itself was absolutely. It was like I said. It was bang on. It's hard to be disappointed with it because you, like I said, you know, it does exactly what it says on the tin. I think your kids are gonna love it, especially if they're kids that have grown up with the game or if they're still playing the game now and shit. But yeah, Minecraft. I'll give it a nice solid 7. And we'll wrap it up there. Visuals for this week's edition of the Entertainment Canoesy News. Well, more Death of a Unicorn and Minecraft reviews. Hopefully Chris is back on next week. We're going to talk hopefully Daredevil with the season being over next week and shit. And then we'll be going to see Sinners, WrestleMania and all that kind of stuff. So can't fucking wait next weekend. But more importantly, visuals. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Go check out Death of a Unicorn. Go check out Minecraft. And please remember to always keep being you and keep on keeping on.